Good evening, or good morning. I guess it's about 6 o'clock in the morning on the East Coast, and about 3 o'clock in the morning on the West Coast. I happen to be on the West Coast. My name is Black Dragon, National President of the Black Sabbath Motorcycle Club Nation, and I would like to thank you for tuning into my channel, Black Dragon, National President. And for those of you who have been watching me for a while, I definitely appreciate you tuning into another version of my vlog. And I would like to talk to you about a particular situation or some ideas that were on my mind. And I'll start off by asking you, how many times does it take for you to make a negative impression, and how long can that negative impression last? That'll be today's subject. First, I want to ask you to subscribe to my channel. If you like my channel and my videos, please subscribe. It helps me out when you subscribe. And if you don't like me, subscribe. And I would like to ask you to share my video. If you like this video, share it. It helps me when you share my video. You can click and paste the URL, and then you can share it on your Facebook and social media sites and things like that. So please share the video if you like it. Share the video if you don't like it. Also, I would like to encourage you to take a look at my books. I've written the Prospects Bible, How to Join a Traditional Motorcycle Club, Prospects Bible for Women's Motorcycle Clubs I've written. I've also written the Public Relations Officer's Bible. And finally, I've written the Sergeant at Arms Bible. And all of my books can be gotten on Amazon.com under my real name, John E. Bunch II, or Black Dragon. And also, if you want to talk to me or send me some information, something like that, you can reach out to me at blackdragon@blacksabbathmc.com. Blackdragon at blacksabbathmc.com, and there are 2 B's in Sabbath. All right, so getting back to this discussion for this morning, how long does it take to make an impression on someone, especially a negative impression, and how long can that impression last? And the answer is, it takes one time, 1 second, one interaction, one heartbeat to make a negative impression on somebody that can last, in the case of this video, for 17 years. So when I was a young man, about 17 years ago, I was much younger than I am now, I had an opportunity to make a movie in Hollywood by the name of Biker Boys. And Biker Boys was an amazing movie, an amazing feat for a young guy to make. Actually got to go to Hollywood and make a movie. And I got to feature the Black Sabbath in the movie prominently. And it was just an amazing experience that I'm still high on, that experience almost 20 years later. Well, I'm in San Diego, I'm visiting, and I'm going out to my clubs on my chapters here on the West Coast. And I met with one of my members tonight. And that member was actually pretty perturbed with me, and has been perturbed with me for 17 years. And he started talking with me about some things that were heavy on his mind. He said, well, you know, I really haven't liked you for a long time. As a matter of fact, I haven't liked you since I was a prospect. And I said, 17 years ago? And he goes, yeah, 17 years ago. I really haven't had much in the way of anything positive to do or say about you. I really dislike you, the person that I've seen from my own 2 eyes that you are. So I was baffled, and I said, what could I have possibly done to you? I haven't really even talked to you over that much I've been in Georgia for the last uh, uh, 16 years. So what is it that I've done to you? And he said, it's not what you did to me necessarily, what you did to our crew. And it let me know that you were pompous and arrogant and that you really didn't care about your brothers. And I was just a prospect, and I was hanging out, and we were all hanging on the movie set, making the movie with you, and we got paid to be on the movie set. But I had to be back at work in the morning, and me and several brothers were escorting you as we were all supposed to be riding back down to San Diego from Los Angeles. And you saw a girl you wanted to talk to. So you left us all hanging there, sitting there, waiting on you. Me having to be back to work, and maybe some of the other guys did too, while you went and prosecuted this girl. And you were talking to her and talking to her, and we were just sitting over there waiting on you. And then the girl even said, you got your people over there waiting on you. And you were kind of like, so what? I'm trying to chase a woman. And me seeing how you acted that day and how you didn't really care about your brothers, it made me know what kind of personality you had and what kind of person you were. And I've never had anything to do with you on a club basis ever since that day. And it blew me away. It's not that anything that he said was untrue. It's just that I've changed in those 17 years. I've risen. I've taken on more responsibilities. I have felt the pain of making mistakes in the MC, and I've paid my dues. So how you could not see that and give me some credit, no matter what, you still continued to hate me so much until finally, 16, 17 years later, it finally seethed you and seized up in your blood, and you finally had to speak on something that you had been hating me on for a long time. Despite all the good that I've done, despite the changes in my personality, that then prospect that I made a negative impression on with my arrogance and my greed, my stinginess, my unwillingness to consider that my brothers had been working all night on this Hollywood set and they wanted to go home to their families, their wives, and their other jobs. My inability to see that because I was part of the crew and I was being paid and I didn't have these issues. That negative impression I made on that brother stayed with him all the way up until tonight, 17 or more years later, when he finally got the nerve up to confront me and get this off of his chest. How long, presidents, does it take to make a negative impression? It takes about as long as it takes to do a negative thing. How long before you disrespect the time of one of your prospects or one of your members? How long does it take when you have disrespected the brothers around you and not giving them the proper attention that they believe, that they deserve? Sometimes as a president, we get cocky. Sometimes as a president, we become overbearing. Sometimes as a president, we think that our rubbish does not stink. We think that we are above the fray. We think that we have put in so much into the MC that the MC owes us something. The MC owes you nothing. You work hard because that is your job. You work hard because it is your responsibility to work hard for your brothers. And turning your nose up to your brothers and making them wait on you and making them always late because you're always late and making all these things of discourteous distraction that you do makes your club resent you. You have one time to make a bad impression before some of your members won't even have 2 cents worth of anything to do with you for the next 17, 18 years. As a president, you have a responsibility to your men to lead by example, to care for them, and to treat them with love, honor, and respect at all times. Not the other way around. You are the servant of the MC. The MC is not the servant of you. Sometimes as a young president, it takes us a while to understand that, to get that concept within ourselves, to get that concept. Sometimes you have to go through pain and get beaten down, and the MC falls on top of you. And maybe you almost lose your position, or maybe you get kicked out of your position before you realize the valuable commodity in the men that you are responsible for. You are responsible for these men. You're responsible for their actions, and you're responsible for their love of the MC. They are yours to mold into the greatest members that they can possibly be. But how can they be great when you're not great? Presidents, think about being more of a mentor and a teacher and someone who shows by example than one who's always gabbing and running his mouth and talking a bunch of noise but not doing anything. Every time you make a negative impression on your prospects or your members, someone is going to tell someone it's going to just roll downhill. And you will never live it down. So don't make the silly mistakes of turning people off from the second that you run into them. Deserve and earn their loyalty. Serve the MC as the greatest servant of the MC. Be that one who works hard from within his heart at all times for the brothers within the MC. Now, I was a young man and I was cocky. I was full of myself. And I did do those things that he said that I did. And it was hard to listen to him talk to me tonight. I just wanted to squirm. I wanted to defend myself. And he kept saying, "You're not letting me finish. You're not letting me finish." And I had to sit down and be quiet and let him finish, eating me alive with all these things that I have done, especially when he saw me act my most arrogant and pompous and only seemed to be concerned with myself and not others. I'm not proud of it. Many things have changed for me as a president since those days. And I don't do the same things that I did before. I don't mistreat people or act arrogant or act like I know more than they know. Now I'm trying to guide my brothers by letting them see my examples. Let them see that I'm willing to do anything to love on them. Letting them see that I'm there for them. And letting them see that even though I made that bad impression 17 years ago and haven't really done anything to change it, when he brought it to me, though it was difficult, I had to first listen. And I took notes, and I showed him the notes, and then we came to an understanding and agreement as to what the notes meant. And then I had to apologize and say, "I'm so sorry. I was young, not paying attention, and I'll never do that to you again." And so in that way, it was accepted. And perhaps with the new transition between me and that individual, he will see a national president worthy to be followed and obeyed. Not because of how great I am, but because of how strong my work ethic is always going to be. I'm Black Dragon, National President. Please subscribe to my video and let folks know about the great things that the Black Sabbath Motorcycle Club Nation is doing. Be good to your brothers and sisters. Care about their issues. Make a lasting impression on them that shows them that you are concerned with them more than you're concerned with your own schedule. And learn how to be great and loving and careful and by the book with your men. And never egotistical, silly, or self-absorbed. Thank you for taking the time to listen. I'm Black Dragon National President. Get skinny.